We are diving into the first look of the meta, y'all. That's right, Fantastical Parade is out and tournaments are already happening. This is one of the first ones of the evening to happen after the update, so we get to see just kind of where these new Pokemon are going to land. As you can see, we're in the metagame portion here. Mega Kangaskhan EX is pulling through as like a popular pick, even amongst some of these titans like Suicune EX and Hydreigon. It was continue to scroll down. We're getting some Glaring Obstacle and Mega Absol, whopping 77.78% win rate here. That's kind of crazy. 14-4. This is followed underneath with Mega Kangaskhan Darkrai, 8-4, 67% here, which is pretty strong. We have a little conglomerate of Mega Gardevoir EX with Guardy as well too, to like kind of like balance these out as well. So there are some interesting cards. People are pulling in Mega Mawile, people are pulling in Porygon Z with Obstagoon. That's actually a really interesting choice here. Toxtricity as well. So let's go ahead and see the standings here and what's kind of folks are getting here. So up like in first place, actually, we have a newer deck here, Glaring Obstagoon and Mega Absol, 8-1. That's pretty spicy, coming in with 7-2. We got some Mega Kangaskhan EX here. And that is, if I scroll down here just a little bit, that's Mega Gyarados EX as well too. I really want this to be like new card focus, but for the mere fact that Mega Gyarados is like in the top 8 right now, that's kind of spicy. So we might have to look at this as well too. So let's go ahead and just dive into these decks, so that way you kind of get a sense of what folks are playing and see what you can line up with your pulls as well. So we have here Zigzagoon into Obstagoon. We have Chingling Darkrai EX here. You got your Mega Absol, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Piers, 2 Copycats, 1 Cyrus, 2 Pokeball, 2 Rare Candy, 1 Rocky Helmet. This feels just kind of similar to like what we were thinking about for our day one, where you're essentially pinging with Darkrai, enabling your Obstagoon for 120, or you're taking things away with Chingling. You can then attach your energy to Darkrai, or attach 1 energy Obstagoon, and then it's ready to go. Darkrai can just feed into everything, and I think what's one of the strongest suits here for this deck is this Piers card, right? Piers being able to discard 2 random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon when you have Obstagoon in play just puts them out of being able to attack that next turn, right? It's 2 energy, not 1 where they can just attach it and find that to be annoying instead of like being able to do the back. But having 2 guaranteed energy means even if they attach that energy from before, they have to find another way to get a second one. So you run into things where you have your opponent playing Elemental Switch, or you have your opponent playing Flame Patch, but a lot of times you're facing against decks like this, or you're facing against decks like Suicune, which don't run those cards, and you put yourself in a good position where they can't retreat, they can't attack, and putting like that's really good. So this coming out on top here really makes a lot of sense here. 120 for 2 damage, or for 2 energy, and then being able to follow up with your Darkrai or your Mega Absol after the fact is really good here. This deck is going to see a lot of play, is like what I'm getting a sense of, and there's gonna be a clear reason for it. Then we move into this Mega Kangaskhan Darkrai daycare deck, like we call it here, right? We have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Pokemon, and 5 of which are babies. So you have 4 energy generators. Literally the ratios of who you have for what does not matter here. If you want to run 2 Pichu or 2 Mantike or 2 Magby, by all means, go with where your heart desires, go with where you have your full arts, and you can make this look pretty. And then we have Tyrogue here with Darkrai as a little 1-2 punch. Is actually kind of like, it kind of goes a little fun way to sneak in some good damage, right? Sloppy Knuckles, Darkrai gives you 40 damage. A Geo gives you 50. If they're like trying to steer you down into an Oricorio, you actually kind of knock it out like that in that one turn because you have that weakness advantage. In a 20 card deck, you will be able to run that exact combo line pretty often, more often than not. And Mega Kangaskhan is really fun. With all the baby generations, you'll be able to ramp up into this attack pretty quickly, and you are attacking twice. So this attack is used twice in a row. The second attack does 40 damage, the first attack does 80. Where that comes into playing is that it is affected by your Giovanni and your red. Your Giovanni means that you get to attack for 90 and then you attack for 50, and then your red means that you attack for 100 and then you attack for 60. And so the key things here is like during this turn, attacks used by your Pokemon, and attacks is plural in there, right? Like that's what the S is for. And so therefore double punching family gets affected and gets that boost twice. Since it's not an effect, it is actually 2 attacks. So that's pretty a neat little function, little neat mechanic that only Mega Kangaskhan can actually do and pull off in Pokemon Pocket, which is really fun to see. And then once this gets lower, you can always Ilma it away because you have your babies to get your energy back up. You can Ilma it away and get your Darkrai in there and start pinging that, let that go down, and then let your Mega Kangaskhan go in there. So it's really has a lot of good answers here into a lot of things, and being able to have those attacks here is really fun. One of the things that I was surprised to see is a blue, but getting that -10 off can really net you games, right? That's why people play Giovanni and red to get that extra damage. So to be able to reduce that as well could probably sneak you in some things. Then we continue into the Mega Gyarados deck here, and I know that I said I wanted to look at just new decks, but Mega Gyarados is here. The Protective Poncho, which you're running 2 of, which is behind my screen here. But this is spicy because your Magikarp now is safe, right? So that's actually kind of fun when you're really thinking about it. So essentially, you have 2 game plans here. You can let everything go down and then get into your Mega Gyarados. So you have your energy ramp up here with your Mantic into Magikarp or your Manaphy into Magikarp. You have your Suicune that you can draw into your other cards. You can Manaphy your Keldeo, so your Manaphy goes down, your Keldeo goes up, then your Keldeo goes down, then you have your Mega Gyarados. And so you have those options here. The fact that you can get away with getting a Serena in this deck to ensure that you get your Mega Gyarados is pretty cool in that sense as well too, because you just need one in order to really pop off there as well. I like the creativity behind this. I love the idea of the fact that they're like, hey, the only reason why I keep losing is because my Magikarp keeps getting hit while it's on the bench. And that's it. If I can protect this one Magikarp that has the energy on it while I'm trying to find my Mega Gyarados, I am good. So Protective Poncho here will ensure that this 30 HP Mon is surviving to go into this big Mega Gyarados, and as it's been able to get some wins, they're kind of proving their point right. So that's really nice here. We see it being able to pull out the Magikarps, the Mantiques, and the Manaphy really thins out to your deck in that way. Misty just to get some extra early cheese if you can, in terms of just getting 4 energy and attacking for 140 and deleting the deck as soon as you can. This is one where I wasn't expecting to see Mega Gyarados on this first day, but I am not mad that I do. So let's continue on to our next one here, and that is solo Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile here, you're running just anything defensive and everything that has to do with healing as well, right? So Adamant -20, Metacore Barrier -50, Pokemon Center Lady, you have the 30 heal, Ice Lucky Pop, you have 20 heal, and if you roll heads, the card goes back into your hand to guess what? To do it again. I've actually played this played this card and I've like been able to get 60 heal off of it because it just kept flipping heads, and that's really fun. Team Rocket Grunt, slow down their attacks, right? Like you're doing everything possible to make your opponent not be ready to attack you. You're red carding them, you're repelling them, you're Sabrinaing them, you're hitting them with the Team Rocket Grunt, and you're healing yourself. Everything that you can do to ensure that you hit for 60, and you hit for 90, you hit for 120, and then at that point, there's no stopping you, right? Like you're getting 90 into 120 in of itself is 90 into 120 is 210 damage. So that's a lot for your opponent to have to deal with. And if they are not set up, because you just need 2 energy in order to pop off, whereas they need to build up their basic, build up their backline, and like do all those things. So if you're taking out opponents early through your red, or stopping them trying to build their momentum through your Team Rocket Grunt, and so on and so forth, you put yourself in a good position to really sneak out some wins in some places where your opponent might have been able to. So we go into our next deck here, which I'm excited to try as well, when we're pairing up Alolan Ninetales EX with the Greninjas. So this is cool. Alolan Ninetales just ensures that your opponent can't get energy from their energy zone and attach it to their active Pokemon. I might find a way to play second Cyrus here, right? Like double Greninjas, double Cyrus just always like feels good. But this allows you to attack for 100 with the support of Greninja. You're running water, why not? Like that's like just one of the things that you should be doing. Or like can be throwing in here. Greninja is probably the most used non-EX stage 2 card, so being able to put it into a deck where it can also attack is pretty strong. But this effect on Alolan Ninetales goes crazy. It means they can't ramp their energy like that they would want to. They can only take energy from the discard pile, is how that discard works. And so if you were able to go, like for example, if you're able to go second, you attach your energy to Vulpix, Yuna, and then you go into Alolan Ninetales EX, things like this, Mega Mama has no answer. I mean, I guess they do with the Team Rocket Grunt, but like that's just like one of those things. You just have more HP, your damage is like attacked up here, that's 150 damage, they have to get through that. And with the Greninja support of being able to switch around into maybe your second one, that you can continuously do it. If you have this Greninja out on the bench, you can then switch out your opponent who's trying to build energy in the back and be like, now you're up front, now you can't do that. So really messing around with their board state while also messing around with their energy spells disaster for your opponent. Then we look into the card that folks are just looking to play, which is Mega Gardevoir EX. And out of all of them, this one is the one that's doing the best and where you're kind of just going all in on just Mega Gardevoir. Meloetta is going to be turnkey for a lot of these Psychic decks. It's a basic, 70 HP, totally fine, but you are just, you are just thinning your deck out here. You're just thinning out your deck. And being able to evolve right away into these is going to be super helpful. You can Meloetta into a Gardevoir, into a Mega Gardevoir, and like you're perfectly fine. I'm not sure what this Glameow, Stunky, Krogunk, like the Team Galactic is here for. I definitely would switch this up with like a red card, maybe even like a Pokemon. Honestly, I could see this being like a Mewtwo EX or a Mew EX, but let me know in the comment section if you run into this, like the impact of this. I would definitely love to know. Not just because these 3 cards are specific Pokemon and they're not here. So let me know what it is, but it's really funny that this is the most performing deck that is being played right now in this tournament. But I'm not sure what this Team Galactic Grunt does, but the opponent is cooking. Or maybe they cooked too much. So then we have, moving on to our next one, we have Blacephalopon EX here, being supported by the non-EX Blacephalopon, and then being heated up by Heatmore. This is kind of doing Blaziken things without being Blaziken, right? You are Heat War, you are targeting their backline, you are hoping that you go down so that way you can then engage your Lusamine. Then you can Cyrus things up with your pop, so that way you can hit things for 140, knock them out. You discard 3 energy, so you're hoping that your Lusamine is there again, or your Flame Patch, and you'll be fine. You have your non-explosive upon, which does 130 damage, but it does 70 damage to itself, which means that this is definitely going to be getting knocked out that following turn. But again, you're doing these to ensure that this like pop punk can really go off here. So double Cyrus with the Heat more to then kind of set the stage to either then burn your opponent's Pokemon or pop punk it after the fact really does well. So this is really cool. I'm curious if I want the Stadium starting planes, which allows my basic Pokemon an extra 20 HP, because if you take a look, we're playing 4 basics and that's it. So that could be something here. I'm really interested to see how well the Pokemon communication 2 into 1 of the Pokeball works out instead. We get the Pokeball, or we get the Pokemon, and then therefore there are 3 basics left, so maybe having another Pokeball in here. But either way, as it stands right now, I'm curious as how Bucephalopon is going to do long term, but being able to pop off with this pop punk multiple times, because even though you're discarding 3, you can bring it right back with Lusamine, and you're definitely gonna get your opponent's definitely gonna get a point because you're leading with your Heat more here. Is pretty nice. And then we talked through our last deck here, which is the Toxtricity deck. So this is doing 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has damage on it, and you're running the older Spiritomb. I know folks are excited about the newer Spiritomb, where for 2 energy you're dealing 30 damage, and once it gets knocked out you deal 10 damage to every Pokemon that's out. But I mean, this Spiritomb here, Strong Disaster, it just does let me see what this exact number. I believe this is 10. Yep, it does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. This is just nice. You're just continuing to chip away, right? Because that's what you want to do. You want to accumulate damage. You just will constantly want to accumulate damage. So being able to Surrounding Disaster here, being able to attack, that's going to be really good. You have your Zero Aura to be able to Elemental Switch into it, and this opponent is running Squirt Bottle. They were afraid of running into fire decks, so this Squirt Bottle here is actually really funny. You have a Pichu to help either speed up your Toxel into your Toxtricity, or you have your Zero Aura for your Elemental Switch, but Spiritomb here is really nice in terms of building that up. It's really interesting to see that this is our second deck that has been playing blue, and it really has me questioning whether or not I should be throwing that in my decks as well. But let me know, y'all. It's day 1. It's our first look. What card is exciting you the most right now as well? Let me know down below in the comment section below. And if you are playing a deck that's not on here, please let me know what that is as well too. Because if we have the cards, I'd love to test that out as well. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this one, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.